The assumption is, a major league pitcher should dominate his minor league competition when sent on a rehab assignment. The same goes for major league hitters facing minor league arms. That's not always that case, and for good reason. More than anything, a rehabbing pitcher is looking to strengthen his arm and be ready to help his big league club when he returns. He also usually has little information on the batters he is facing and is focused on improving specific areas of his arsenal more than rearing back and blowing fastballs by a batter in a who has a hairy chest competition. A AAA stat line like Jeff Samardzija's Tuesday night can make fans panic. 4IP, 7H, 6er, 2-hour. Samardzija took the loss as the River Cats fell to the Isotopes in Albuquerque, 13-8. Here's another factor that can hurt a pitcher rehabbing in the minors, a ballpark where the flies and AAA batters look like Brady Anderson. The ball simply soars in Albuquerque, where the elevation of the park exceeds 5,100 feet above sea level. Of the 6 earned runs Samardzija allowed, 5 came in the first inning off 2 home runs. Despite being only one game above .500, the Isotopes are second in the Pacific Coast League in home runs, 93, slugging percentage, .485, runs, 456, and batting average, .288. All stats are second to the first-place Salt Lake Bees. Along with allowing 6 earned runs, Samardzija also struck out 6, walked 2 and totaled 88 pitches over 4 innings. What matters are the 6 strikeouts and 88 pitches. Nobody wants to see 88 pitches in only 4 innings of work, but in this case of working harder than smarter, Samardzija wins. He showed the strength and stamina that should get him back in the rotation sooner than later. Samardzija gave up 6 runs in 4 innings in Albuquerque, which is one of those brutal minor league parks. Those results won't matter much. What does? He got to 88 pitches, so should be ready to return to rotation. Alex Pavlovich at Pavlovich NBCS, June 27, 2018. In 3 rehab starts with the River Cats, Samardzija has thrown 11 innings while allowing 8 earned runs, 17 strikeouts and 2 walks. After the first inning to forget, Tuesday night, Samardzija settled in and only allowed 2 hits and 1 run over the next 3 innings with 4 strikeouts. The Giants have an interesting decision to make soon with their starting rotation. Samardzija has been far from perfect this year, but in this case, look past the tweets. Rule number 1 always, and the box score. He will be back soon and the sample size with Sacramento is more encouraging than some stats suggest. San Francisco, making a rehab start in Albuquerque seemed to be a good warm-up for a return at Coors Field, but the Giants have decided that Jeff Samardzija likely won't be activated next week as expected. Samardzija needed 40 pitches to get through a 5-run first inning on Tuesday night, and while the numbers in a AAA game in an unforgiving ballpark weren't that alarming for staff members, there is concern that Samardzija didn't get enough work in. Manager Bruce Bochy said he would like to see Samardzija get up and down 5 or 6 times in his next rehab start. The right-hander has pitched 4 innings in each of his past 2 starts as he works his way back from his shoulder injury. He feels great. He feels fine, Bochy said. To get him up 5 or 6 times, we would cover ourselves a little bit better. We'll be sure on this one. He feels like he's ready, you know Jeff. He wants to be here and pitching. I just think we'll be more on the cautious side this time. The Giants rushed Samardzija back after his first rehab stint and he was never right. This time, 2 things have changed. Samardzija has noted a difference in the health of his shoulder, and the Giants have gotten much different results from their starting staff. With Madison Bumgarner back and Derek Holland throwing well, there are 2 veterans giving Bochy consistent innings. Chris Stratton, Andrew Suarez and Derek Rodriguez have pitched well as the team has gone on a bit of a run. A day after Austin Slater scored a big run, he was back on the bench. Hunter Pence gets the start in left against southpaw Kyle Freeland. Pence is 4 for 7 off Freeland. He had a walk-off on Sunday and hit a slow roller Tuesday that tapped the third base bag. He's got the magic wand going a little bit. Bochy said, "It does not appear the Giants will give Slater an extended look here." Bochy mentioned that Austin Jackson is due a start sometime soon. San Francisco, the second half collapse. The blown lead in Game 4. All the injuries last year. All the injuries this year. The Bumgarner crash. The Strickland punch. The second Strickland punch. The list goes on and on. The point is, the Giants have had a lot of negatives over the past 2 years, but finally, they appear to be finding momentum. With a 3-2 win over the Rockies on Tuesday night, the Giants improved to 15-9 in June. It sounds like a small step, but for a team that nearly choked away a playoff spot in 2016 and lost 98 games the next year, this represents a milestone. The Giants will have a winning June. It will be their first winning month since June of 2016, when they went 17-10 and looked headed for bigger things. Every month since has been .500 or worse, often much worse. We've been playing better, so hopefully we can build on this, and we're going to have to. You get late in the season and that margin for error gets smaller, manager Bruce Bochy said. We've had a tough schedule and been through a lot, but the guys are playing pretty good baseball. We're getting solid pitching and doing the little things it takes to win the ballgame. The Giants excelled in both those departments Tuesday while winning for the 6th time in 8 games back home. Derek Holland continued his surge, allowing 1 run over 6 2/3 innings and matching a season high with 8 strikeouts. The outing was his longest since last May 21st, when he was with the Chicago White Sox. "I started off not as good as I should have this year, but I keep improving out there," Holland said. "Nobody fits that mold better than Gorky Hernandez these days." At the age of 30, he has set a career high with 10 homers. We're not talking about a career high in the majors, either. He never hit more than 8 even in a minor league season, of which were many. When you play the game every day you have confidence in yourself, Hernandez said. "That's what I'm looking for." That confidence showed in the game's biggest moment. Hernandez homered in the 3rd and his bunt in the 7th helped push the lead runner over. But the Giants would give up the run a few minutes later. In the 8th, Hernandez put them back on top. With the bases loaded, he stared at a couple of close pitches from Adam Ottavino, one of the best relievers in the National League. He took a 3-2 slider just inside and then trotted down to first, the go-ahead run having been pushed across. "That's what he's been doing all year," Bochy said. "That's why he's out there every day. He's really made himself into a good all-around player." The 3rd run of the night would hold up, and it got the Giants closer to another milestone. They have outscored opponents 100-74 this month, and barring an epic meltdown over the final 4 games of June, they'll have their first positive run differential since September of 2016.